So my son wants to start his lock journey, but he doesn't want to wait until they're long. He wants them long now. So I'm going to do starter locks for him using the braiding and wrapping method, similar to how I do my hair when I do goddess locks. And I'm going to film a tutorial to show you guys how I do it. So stay tuned. I'm using this Afro Kinky bulk hair in 1B. And my son also wants this color M4 and 30 mixed in. I'm going to use this to braid so that we don't waste too much of the dark hair, and the hair from the ends I should be able to mix in with the darker hair while I'm wrapping. And he has 3 packs of the hair in 1B. I'm hoping that's enough. So I already showed you guys the hair that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to use the M4 30 color to braid his hair, and we're going to like blend that color in with the dark color in the ends when I'm wrapping it. So I'm going to go ahead and braid his whole head first, and then I'm going to go in and wrap each individual braid to create his locks. So my son wants box parts, and he doesn't want them. He wants overlapping boxes. I'll show you guys how I do that. He doesn't want them too small but not too large. So I'm starting with a straight part across, and then I created this box part, and I'm going to braid his hair with the brown hair. And he doesn't want his locks too long, so I'm putting the braiding hair in half. And what I did is I split the pieces into 2, and I'm going to overlap the 2 pieces to create 3 pieces to braid with. And I'm going to braid this box, and I'm only going to braid halfway down because there's no need to braid all the way to the ends. And I'm going to do this for every single one, and then go back in and wrap them to create his locks. And I'm just going to make sure that I braid past his hair. So his hair ends about right there, and I'm just going to braid past his hair. And I know we'll be using the ends that's out to wrap the hair, because he definitely doesn't want his locks this long. He wants them about, actually, let me take that out a little bit. He wants them about here, like to his neck. So we'll be using the color here to like wrap up. And I might actually mix in the black hair for the braiding, because he doesn't want the color in every lock. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue braiding his hair. So I'm starting on the next row, and I wanted to show you guys how I overlap. So when I'm parting the next row, instead of parting it lined up with the braid under it, you kind of part it in the middle, and that's how the boxes are going to overlap. And I'm going to go ahead and braid that little box. So we're getting towards the top, and now I've been mixing the lighter colored hair with the darker colored hair, so that is not so much contrast. My son wants the color throughout his whole head, but we're just going to mix it as we get to the top, so that is not as much. And I'm almost finished braiding, and then when I'm finished braiding everything, then I'll go in and individually wrap each braid, or wrap each individual braid rather. Alright y'all, so I'm finished doing all the braids. My son has a middle part, he has some side parts, and I mixed the colors in the top. Everything is all done. You can see it's box parts, so when I put it up from the side, it looks like diamond parts. And turn around, Papa. Turn so they can see. My son got his hair tapered prior to me doing it, so he has his taper all ready. And I'm just going through and taking like the bunches of braids and just grazing the ends to make sure any straight hairs are off and they're like kind of even before I get ready, go in and wrap the braids. My son probably like, she being way too rough. He is so tender-headed. Y'all should have heard him in here complaining about me braiding too tight. I am heavy-handed, but we done with that part. He better not be complaining about the wrapping part. But yeah, we just sitting here trimming the braids, making sure the tangles are off the ends and the ends are even. And now I am ready to start wrapping, and I'm going to show you guys how I wrap up the braids to create his locks. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all how I wrap the locks, and I'm using the dark hair in 1B, and I just took off a piece like this. And what I'm going to do is fold the straight part and put that up against the lock like that. And then I'm going to wrap to the right, and you want to make sure you wrap the roots really good. And then when you're wrapping, the goal is to cover up the braid and wrap tightly but not too tight. So you'll have to go over each spot a couple of times. You want to make it kind of wide and not too narrow, and just go over each spot a couple of times to make sure you're covering the braid, and then you're going down the braid at the same time. And you want to make sure you hold those straight pieces. So I'm going to show you guys a little slower how I'm doing it. So stretch it, cover each section, and I don't necessarily use my thumb, you don't have to, but it's easy to wrap the hair around using your thumb. And if you find there's spaces in there, you can just push the hair up a little bit, and then I'm just going to continue wrapping until I run out of hair. And if the ends get tangled, you can just pull the little excess hair out the ends. That's what was causing it to get tangled, and just put that on the side and just keep wrapping. And when I get to the ends, to lock the ends, I'm just going to keep on wrapping until all the hair is completely wrapped around. And I'm just going to twist that. So now I have just the bottom part hanging out, and that's where the color is. And I'm going to show you guys how I close the lock and finish wrapping it up. So to close the wrap, I'm going to start where I ended the dark hair, and I'm going to fold the bottom up to create a little loop, and then I'm going to wrap the brown hair in the opposite direction around the loop, and that's going to create the end of the lock. And then I'm just going to wrap the brown hair up the lock in the opposite direction from how I wrap the black hair, and I'm like stretching it and making it wide and I'm just going to keep wrapping it up until I run out of hair. And it's going to create a two-tone lock with a natural looking end that's not cut off. Let me clip this to the side so it's not in the way. And I'm just going to keep on twisting it until all the hair is gone, to kind of seal off the ends. And I'm going to come down in the other direction to close it off. And now what I'm going to do is the stray hairs. I have this bunch of stray hairs on the side from when I was pulling out the tangles, and I'm just going to pull a piece of hair out of those stray hairs just to get like a few stray strands like that. And what I'm going to do is use that to lock both ends together and just kind of lock up the lock and make sure it doesn't come loose. And I'm going to go over that a few times. And I'm done. That's all wrapped up. That's the locks. And I can just take the scissors and cut off any little strays. And I'm just going to continue this process with my son's whole head to create his locks. I did one over here too on this side. So I'll show you guys again to make sure that you get it. So I wanted to show you guys, as the locks get longer, you'll have to add in more hair to actually make the locks longer, because I'm running out of hair halfway through. So I have to attach another piece of hair And what I'm going to do is take the hair from the straight end, and just like I attached it originally, I'm going to take that piece of hair and put it right there where I need to continue. And then I'm going to wrap the piece that I have left and then add the new piece right in with it, and then continue wrapping until I get all the way down. And that's how you add hair if you're running out of hair. And you can do that as many times as you need to until you get to the end of the lock. And I'm going to show you guys another way to do the ending. And so you see, before I would wrap this back up and loop it over, I'm just going to add this to the end piece, and then I'm going to loop it around to create the end of the lock. And now I'm just going to wrap the two pieces back up together so that I have more hair to wrap in together and make the end of that lock thicker. And also the color will be mixed black, or 1B, which is really like a deep brown off black, with the lighter color, which I believe I mentioned was M4 mixed with 30. I'm just going to go in with that loose strand and just wrap it all together to lock it so that it doesn't come apart. And I just take the scissors and cut off any stray pieces. And that lock is done. And this is my progress so far. Alright, y'all, so we're up to the final stretch. This is what I have left. This whole side is done. Everything else is done. Turn, Papa. The back is done. We are both extremely tired, but this is the final stretch. And I'm going to show y'all the finished masterpiece when I'm done. Okay, so I'm finally down to the last one, y'all. This took about 12 hours, and we used almost 2 full packs of the 1B hair and almost a full pack of the brown hair. I'm tired. I can't remember the numbers. I think it was 30 and M4, but I am so glad to be down to the final stretch. My son better appreciate his mama for this because he just got a $500 hairstyle, and after doing this I might start charging more for it. But we are almost done. I'm going to pop back in and show y'all the final look. Alright, y'all, so I'm all done. I'm about to spray some braid spray in my son's hair. There we go. To soothe his scalp and moisturize his locks. How you like your hair, Papa?
So tired.
Yeah, we are tired. It is literally like 4 a.m. and we both have to get up in a couple of hours for work. But I feel accomplished. I'm going to be tired, but I'm glad I got this done. And it came out dope, and he likes it. And what he plans to do is to grow these out and trim them off when his hair is the length that he wants it. So he's going to use these as starter locks if he doesn't change his mind. I know my child, sometimes he changes his mind, but we'll see what happens. But I gave him what he want. He gonna be ready for the holiday weekend. And right now we're about to get ready for bed because it's late. But you guys let me know if you have any questions. Papa, turn around so they can see the back. Let me know if you have any questions, guys, on how to do these 4 starter locks, because that's what they are, because he's not planning to cut them off. You can wear these temporarily if you want, or you can leave them permanent and use them as starter locks like my son is doing. And that's it. My baby is tired. So, see y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in.